Welcome back to another trade recap. I'm your host, Johnny, and if you missed this morning's live day trading session where we actually placed this trade and locked in profits, go back and watch that video after this. It's a really good live stream, and we talk a lot about exactly my thought process behind this trade. But this is the recap nonetheless. I'm going to wrap it up for you guys real quick on exactly my thought process on the trades from this morning and exactly what the overall market is doing as well to help you guys have a better understanding of what we did today and what leading into tomorrow can bring for all of us as traders. So guys, this pushed up very nicely this morning. If we look at the 1 minute, you can see that early morning I bought in 10 shares at 9.17. This was roughly about 12 or 13 minutes before the market opened. About $300 invested there. I bought another 10 shares at 33.71. It popped up a little bit more to 33.98. I got another 10 shares. 34.06. I bought 20 more shares, and we were fully invested and had a really nice average, roughly around, I believe, like $34 if I'm not mistaken, 33 and some change. Now it did pull back, and I took this trade because I noticed that it was going up. It crossed over early morning from this level here from 32.66, crossed up over, and I seen that it was holding above that moving average. So as it was holding above during a live stream, it was very choppy, and obviously the markets are selling off, and that's why I took this trade. We are shorting the market by taking an SQQQ position. Now this is a triple leveraged ETF, so I want you all to be aware of that. This is very risky, and when the markets recover, you can definitely lose some money. So early morning we were able to lock in $20 right off the bat. It's not a lot of money, but it is able to showcase to you all exactly how to lock in 1 to 2% on a small account and slowly grow it over time. That's the whole point of this series. Now as we see here, it pushed up off of that moving average, indicating it was still bullish. And just right here off the top, we sold at 34.22 and at 34.17. That was right here around the top of this area where we noticed signs of resistance from pre-market levels. Now again, these can be even more dramatic than today. It pushed up a little bit more, as high up as 34.70, 34.71. Okay, so by understanding, hey, let's hold this a little bit longer, we could have locked in a little bit more profits. Now we locked in 20 bucks, 1% on a small account. And then with that said, I noticed it was kind of bouncing off of this level here with, past and previous examples of holding support. We were able to say, okay, my trade plan is basically to buy right here for that dip. We bought just one to test it out. It did not hold and actually sold off. It came down to this level, and we bought one more share for that bounce. Had a really nice bounce, and now continuing to basically just sell off slightly. Now this is not a huge issue moving forward because the overall markets are at basically an overbought level with Trump's tariffs and the trade wars going on with Canada, with Mexico, with China. Things aren't necessarily looking good, and I was actually excited to bring up this point now during our our recap video, because as you notice, if we zoom out on QQQ on the 5-minute, we can see a lot of consolidation at about 504, and then it gets rejected. It got rejected at 503.74, and then just now it got rejected at 503.63. So it's having trouble getting back above that 503 level. This is the second day it's tried to get above it. So from a long-term aspect, you can see that this is actually oversold, trying to consolidate, but from highs of 541.28, 541.28. Let's see if I can let me see if I can click that. 541.28 right there. Two lows of 587. That was a 10% correction in roughly about 10 to 11 days. Okay, a 10% correction of the market. So does this mean that now it found somewhat a support level at 490? What is that, 496? And again, we drew this morning in the live stream. 496 is a very strong level. It touched it before previously. It touched it before in July, in October, in November, also bounced off of it roughly in January right there, this little golden line here. So definitely a lot of consolidation at those 496 levels. Now, considering this morning where we've seen it, it sold off to 491 and then pushed up all the way to 503. Very amazing. Okay, and that is a 2.5% rally from this morning's sell-offs. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't really mean much now that it's still at 503. Yes, it's still very bearish. It can continue to sell off, but at the same time, would you consider this to be a support now? I know I would. And being that it's a support, there's consolidation. Are we actually coming up to the 3 stages of reversal where, hey, it does sell off, right? It begins that selling pressure. It can't get above this level here, right? It gets rejected, comes down, tries to get back up, gets rejected, and now it's starting to show signs of somewhat of a consolidation. Are we going to see a nice move up? It's very possible. I'm very excited to see what happens, as this is a key level. Now, if it gets rejected again, then this will just get rejected and it'll begin to sell off, maybe back to lows of 490, 480, etc. And in that case, that's exactly what I'm thinking here, as far as maybe just holding a couple shares overnight. No big deal. Not a big value, very light position. So if this does begin to retrace, maybe tomorrow we'll catch a bounce. But even right now on the 30-minute, it's not holding above that moving average. On the 1 hour, it definitely is. So I'm excited to see what happens with the market conditions overall. And I hope you guys enjoyed this recap video. A little bit of a better understanding of exactly my thought process behind my trades today, how we were able to lock in 1%. And as this begins to retrace, if it does retrace and begin to sell off as it looks like, we can then decide, hey, we're going to load up a few more shares as this begins to go up, and maybe take a nice swing trade this evening on some good highs for tomorrow. So if not, then we may possibly just cut our losses. So stay tuned, stay vigilant. Sometimes the best position to take is no position at all, especially when market conditions are choppy like this. We're at some key levels, guys. We're right here at this moving average, very key level. It did bounce off of it. Are we going to get upward momentum, or are we going to begin more selling pressure? Market's been bullish for a long time, so let's see what happens. Looks like it pushed off of it from right there. Stay up to date with me and the markets. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all in tomorrow morning's live day trading session, where you can watch me trade live, ask me questions, and talk with other like-minded individuals who all want to do the same thing, and that's learn how to make money in the stock market more consistently. Thank you for your time, and we will see you all in tomorrow's live stream. See you there. Don't be late.